Do not adjust your television sets. Sorry, guys, we had to do it a different way, but AJ Lee did return on this past Friday night SmackDown. It was not a dream, everybody, and I'm here today to talk about everything that went down here on SmackDown after I turned some lights on, because, can't do anything correct. Oh, there is a light on. Anyway, but we're here today to talk about it all and everything that went down. That was my view of what happened on Friday night. It was a crazy ass show. Probably one of the best SmackDowns that we've seen in a while. And I don't think it is only just because of Miss AJ Lee returning, as we did also see John Cena in an open challenge to take on Sami Zayn, as it went full circle from John Cena debuting against Kurt Angle in Chicago, from Sami Zayn having an open challenge in his match and in his opening of his open challenge and everything else like that. It was one heck of a SmackDown and one heck of a crazy show. Hey, I just started my one show. Can sorry guys. Every time we go live. Anyway, I'm still buzzing from it. Friday was one heck of a show. And as I was saying, John Cena, Sami Zayn, in an open challenge, as I said, Sami Zayn had his first ever match on a main roster show against John Cena in an open challenge as they went on. And they faced each other one-on-one for the United States Championship. And that's exactly what we saw on Friday. Obviously, the match did get interrupted by the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. And that was another thing to be able to go out there and see. Being able to see Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee, and I was also at the return of Mr. CM Punk, and Randy Orton also returned to Survivor Series. I see it in the chat. Lily says Tino is a lucky duck. I do feel like I am a very lucky person to be able to see a lot of these, and I've been able to see a lot of these people come back and return in and at the Allstate Arena for the most part. But, guys, I want to know how you're feeling. What are your guys' excitement level? And what do you guys think? Because tonight on Raw, before we get into everything else, let's go in. Let's talk about what will be going down on this week's Raw, as we have today at 7 o'clock. I thought it was this week because, as you guys know, we do have football on tonight. Chicago Bears, my Chicago Bears, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I thought it was starting at 6 o'clock this week. Instead, it is next week that it will be starting off and it will be going down. But tonight on Raw, before we continue to talk about Friday Night SmackDown, let's talk about what is going on Monday Night Raw. And let's get to it as we got this stuff going down. And it goes as followed. We got the Usos, as the Usos will be returning and getting back together once again. And we will be seeing them go. And they will be in a tag team match. As I said, we have the return of Miss AJ Lee, as she will be going. And she will be telling us and explaining her actions on why she returned, why she came back. It's been 10 and a half long years, and we need to know why. AJ is back in the WWE. We also got Lyra Valkyria taking on Raquel Rodriguez in a one-on-one match. And we also have AJ Styles and El Grande Americano in a match in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at the home of the Milwaukee Bucks. As you guys know, I do now live in Wisconsin. I'm actually thinking about going to this show. There we go. You guys can see me a little bit better now. I was thinking about going to this show, but after everything was and how it all went on Friday, I figured I'd save a couple dollars and we'd come home. But I will be eventually doing that. That would be fun. Speaking of that, SmackDown, we will have the vlog be coming out, as the vlog will be coming out for the show tomorrow. I cannot wait to show you guys everything that I did and everything that we experienced at the Allstate Arena at SmackDown with, like I said, the return of AJ Lee. But back to what I was saying with SmackDown. We saw Brock Lesnar. And we had Damian Priest and Aleister Black go one-on-one. Aleister Black took out Damian Priest, and Aleister Black went on. And he went on to then have a little bit of a match, and Aleister Black did end up winning, but it looked like it was just a beatdown. And I feel like we may be seeing more of that. We did see Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre will be going on next week on SmackDown, or this week, I guess now you would say. Brock Lesnar's also going to be there to explain his actions, as after Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of John Cena, he went and he decided that he said that we're going to see your bitch ass at WrestlePalooza, which makes it official. WrestlePalooza, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. Doesn't look like it is a last man standing match like we were predicting and everything else like that, but I'm still excited to see it. But that is what happened with that. We did see Julia take on Meacham for the U.S. title, as Julia did get the win. What else did we see? We saw, and was that it? Was that all the matches? I feel like I saw more matches, but John Cena and Sami Zayn's whole segment was 55 minutes, which I was not complaining about at all, because I took every second and I cherished every second to be able to see John Cena one last time. And hopefully you guys have, and you guys will do the exact same if you are able to be able to go out there and see him. And, you know, yeah, like I said, I will cherish every moment. And Michelle even said it too, like I said earlier, being able to see all these superstars return and everything was so cool. But as you guys saw in the beginning of this episode, my full reaction and my full, like, first seconds of seeing and listening to the music, I literally was able to turn my camera on right away. And it was so bad, though, after she was done and after she came out for like a couple seconds, I had to delete stuff off of my phone and take videos at the same time, because all the videos that I was taking up all of my phone data. I guess I needed to delete more apps in my phone, but that was okay. We figured it out. We got through it. But guys, I can't believe she's back. And like I said, I talk about it all the time. I never get too excited. I don't ever want to feel like I'm sitting here and being like, have your expectations too high and go out there and just, yeah. Because moments like this are moments that you are not going to ever forget. At least for me, I still remember like I said, CM Punk, Randy Orton, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But AJ Lee's, there is something different about it. It's been 10.5 years, and it has been over 3,000 days. And as you guys saw, and hopefully you guys were able to check it out, the main event mixer that Kyle, Paperclip Mike, Sam, and the Great Brown Hope were able to do, they said it. I mean, she's been gone for so long that she could go up and down against the roster, against people that weren't even in the company, or people that we saw her take a picture with Roxanne Perez when Roxanne was like 11 or 12 years old. Well, now here she is in the WWE. We could see her, and we all know one of the biggest dream matches for everybody and for AJ Lee would more or less likely be Mrs. Liv Morgan. Obviously, Liv Morgan is on the shelf. She could go up against girls like Asuka. She go up against girls like Charlotte. Becky, obviously, and that is what it obviously looks like it's leading to, is the tag team match. And I don't know if it's made official, but it will be made official by the end of tonight, most likely. AJ Lee and CM Punk to take on Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I will also be doing an episode later this week for members, as we're going to book the full, and at least all the way until this upcoming year's, until at least about 6 to 8 months, maybe a full year, of what I think AJ Lee could do at each pay-per-view, leading up to each show and everything else like that. That will be on Saturday. But it does look like we'll be having her go on to face Becky Lynch and et cetera, et cetera. We can see her take on Bayley. We saw a picture of Bayley come out today on Instagram that she took before SmackDown went on the air. And obviously whoever retweeted that on Instagram and Twitch or Twitter and all of that about the merchandise most likely got their asses fired, because they obviously spoiled what we were going to be able to see. And like I said, you could see everything you want on the internet, but I never believe it until you actually see it. And that was why I didn't want to get too excited until I saw it. But as you guys saw in the 1-minute video, I mean, I was going crazy. And I mean, you'll see in the vlog tomorrow. It was just incredible. But yes, Becky Lynch. The fact that AJ Lee retired in 2014, and she has not been around since the Divas Revolution. She has not competed in any Hell in a Cell matches like we've seen, Elimination Chamber matches, Royal Rumble matches. We have not seen her, obviously, and I think Kyle might have said it, we have not seen her probably compete in a match that was more than 6-7 minutes. I said minutes. Anyway, minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, because the way the women were booked back then. So it's going to be really interesting to see her go out there and have a really good match in a longer period of match with women like Becky, like a Bayley, like Charlotte, like Tiffany. That's not even including the NXT women such as Jada Parker, a Kalani Jordan, a freaking Jordan Grace. I mean, we go on, and we'll talk more about that on Saturday because I don't want to ruin the whole entire episode on Saturday. But the women that AJ Lee could go up against is insane. She has a whole new crop of women, and we could even see her have a old rivalry with Miss Nikki Bella still in the WWE. Who would have thought 2-3 years ago we would be seeing CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee, John Cena, freaking, I know Nikki Bella wasn't at the show on Friday, but she's still in the WWE. I feel like the year is 2014 all over again, maybe even a couple years before that. I mean, also one of the last times we saw AJ Lee was when Total Divas was on, and I remember when they had the episode that AJ Lee announced that they were having the match at WrestleMania 30, that Vicky Guerrero's Divas Invitational or whatever the heck it was, and yeah, like I said, it's been a long time, guys. There were people that were. Fun fact: I was talking to J Dog yesterday. J Dog has went through a whole year or a whole time from first grade to now he's graduating high school this year. And that is how long AJ Lee has been gone. Like that. That's just insane. But AJ Lee returning, skipping around the ring, doing the face with the head nod, beating the shit out of Becky, sticking up for her man, going out there and just doing AJ Lee things was so great to see. Her being able to still do everything that she's been able to do, and obviously she was on the show Heels. She was able to go on and she was able to be out there and have herself, just she looks incredible out. She literally looks like she hasn't aged, and she literally looks like it's been about 5 to 10 minutes that she's been gone. Because, guys, as I said this tonight, in 2 hours, we will be seeing Ms. AJ Lee return on Monday Night Raw for the first time in a long time. I honestly think the last time we saw her on a Monday Night Raw was after WrestleMania 31, I think, because she didn't compete at WrestleMania 32. Because that was when the women's championship became like the first ever when she went. We had the triple threat, and she was already gone by then. It's incredible. It's insane to think about how long that she's been gone, and how much that we could be able to see her go out there, and the type of rivalries, the types of matches, the types of things that we could go have out here. And like we've seen, and I've said it on a few posts, we need, and one rivalry that I do think that we need to see sooner rather than later is mother against daughter. Not really mother against daughter, but you guys know. AJ Lee and Roxanne Perez. Speaking of that, you say his name and he appears. It's his name. It's his name. It's the man, Too Sweet Kyle. What's up, Kyle? Kyle, I was listening to the mixer, man. You had FOMO about not going to the show. I promise, next time there's a show in Chicago or Wisconsin, I'm buying 2 tickets, and you and I are going, and we're gonna have ourselves a good time. Cause yeah. But how do you guys feel? And let me know, what do you guys think about what AJ Lee? He said AJ Lee against Sasha Banks. Man, that might be a match that we I mean, again, never say never. I mean, who knows? Mercedes could come back, and Mercedes could be the next big return. I will say I do think the next big women's return, though, after AJ Lee, is going to be the woman that defeated her the night after WrestleMania 30, after she made her main roster debut and became a 2-belt champ at the time, as she was already the NXT Women's Champion. I think we're going to see Miss Saraya return as Paige. And hey, let's run back AJ Lee and Paige, because as they talked about on the mixer, that Paige run in AEW was very underwhelming, and it really was not the best. And I think Paige Saraya deserves to go out on her own. And as I do think she would definitely return as Paige, she probably would keep the Saraya name in AEW. And she's got to come back to, guess what? It's her house, and it always will be her house. Paige has got to come home eventually. And hey, Triple H did say, he did go out there and say that he did want, and he said, hey, anybody can come home. So never say never, guys. We'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, seeing AJ Lee go out there, skipping around the ring, beating the crap out of Becky, having Seth Rollins. You could see Seth Rollins' little smile that he kind of put on, and he kind of had on about what he was going and everything else like that. It was so great. And also the fact that Seth Rollins has been and for the last 3 big returns in WWE, he's been a part of 4 if you want to count Randy Orton. Also, between Randy Orton, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and AJ Lee, I keep trying, almost wanting to say AJ Styles. It feels weird to say it, you know? I mean, the last time AJ Lee was in freaking wrestling, I was a senior in high school. That's how old I am. Like, if you guys figure out how old I am, I've said it only about 1,000 times. But that is how long it's been since AJ Lee has been gone. It's insane. It feels so weird that this is like, I don't know why. I got another phone call. 2 seconds. Hey, I'm doing my show. I will call you back. I'm sorry. Bye. Love you. I'm just people. Anyway, God, just let them know. Come hang out in the chat. What's up? But, you know, her being back, her also, and I did not say this also, if you guys, and you should know by now, she did sign a multi-year deal, which means she will be with the company for multiple years. This isn't just a one-off match. This isn't just the tag team match that most likely is going to go down. And you know what, Kyle, you know what? You missed her return, but you know what? You get to watch her first match back at WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis, which I think is going to be really cool. But, you know, that is what I obviously think is going to happen, and that is why I think that we should. And as I said, the members-only episode this week and this upcoming Saturday will be about AJ Lee and when and who I think she will face after WrestlePalooza and so on and so forth for at least, like I said, the next 6 to 8 months. Most likely, maybe we'll go all the way to the full year, all the way up to what was the last pay-per-view? Freaking, I know Clash in Paris, but SummerSlam. Because I think by SummerSlam next year and around this time next year, I think AJ Lee is a champion. If it is the U.S. champion, if it is the Intercontinental champion, as we also saw, if you guys, and I went back and watched the SmackDown after the show. I'm sure you guys saw the clips, but her skipping around with the Intercontinental Championship and her holding it up. Back when she was here, there weren't no championships like that. There was the Divas Championship, and that was it. But as I was saying, we now have the U.S. title. We have the IC title. We have the tag team titles. I mean, AJ and Roxanne could go try to become a tag team at some point. You know, I just think that it's going to be really interesting to see where it goes, how it happens, and everything else like that. But it looks like, and I'll say the bold prediction, I guess it's not a bold prediction because it looks like it's going to happen. I will say by the year's end, and I'm going to say at Survivor Series, AJ Lee wins her first title back in the WWE. And it is Becky Lynch against AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Champion. And then maybe we see AJ Lee and Roxanne go at it in the beginning months of the year, maybe at the Royal Rumble, and, you know, maybe she loses it. But I do believe we will also see AJ Lee in the Royal Rumble next year. And it will be our first ever Royal Rumble. But like I said, I don't want to talk too much about that because that is what will be going down. And as I said, on Saturday, we'll talk about all the things and all the shows that I think AJ Lee will and will not compete at. But it is a multi-year deal. And as I said, she will be on this Friday or this and tonight's Monday Night Raw that starts in about an hour and 40 minutes. This is also the last Monday Night Raw that is on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, as it will now be going not head-to-head, but they are starting a little bit earlier so they can go and they don't compete so much with Monday Night Football. Remember, Monday Night Football is on tonight. It's the Chicago Bears, baby. Got bear down as they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Let's answer some questions. Do you think Valentina Ross would be a good fit in WWE wrestling? I mean, I don't think that it would be bad to, you know, continue to. I don't know if she'd go to the main roster right away. But the one thing I will say, and I do want to say this because I feel like there's somebody out there that's going to complain about it. Why are we bringing back AJ Lee to take spots from somebody else? I'm sure every single woman, and if you guys saw woman, man, legend, referee, whoever it was, they made a special trip to Chicago just so they could be at the Allstate Arena to see the return and hear the pop of AJ Lee. I don't know if you guys could feel it. I tried to feel, the energy that went through that building, the place literally shook, and I swear if the roof was able to, it might have been able to come off. And I'm not saying it was bigger than CM Punk's return, but AJ Lee returning is, like I said, something that you never say never. I think anything's possible. I think we see Dean Ambrose eventually back, a Christian Cage, a Edge, a freaking. I think we see all these people come back eventually, even if it's just a Hall of Fame speech, if it's whatever it is. The bridges that everybody is building back and being able to be a healthy company and having be able to have people go out on the way that they want to, as AJ Lee went out on the social medias today and said that this run is for us weirdos out there that has been chanting her name for the last 10 years. I know every Chicago show and every show I've been to, I've chanted her name. And I'm now happy that, like I said, she's officially back. She got her render. She's on the show tonight. All is good in the world, and life cannot be any better now. And I'm just excited to see where Miss AJ Lee goes and all of the people that she can have and that she will go up. And okay, if Liv Morgan returns tonight, I'd be kind of sad because I did kind of want to see AJ Lee against I would love to see AJ Lee and Liv Morgan live. I do think that once Liv Morgan gets back, though, that is definitely a match that we could see. And who knows? Maybe that's the main event for WrestleMania eventually, or maybe this year. I think, though, and like no, you got to wait until Saturday if you guys want me to tell you who I think AJ Lee's going to face at WrestleMania. I can't spoil the whole episode on Saturday. That's no fun. You'll have to wait till Saturday for that one. But back to SmackDown, because as I was saying, we did see the return of AJ Lee. We saw Damian Priest and Aleister Black. It looks like we'll be seeing them continue their feud. Julia and Meecham, it was what it was. And, I really love Julia. I'm really excited. I'm happy that she's the champion, but I just feel like that they could do something better, and being able to just have her go out there and do something else might actually be better than whatever the heck she's doing right now. Because whatever she's doing right now just ain't working for me. But, we'll have to see where that goes. But again, all around, this Friday night SmackDown was great. It was fun. It was, like I said, probably one of the best Monday Night Raws or SmackDowns I've been to. Obviously, John Cena having his last appearance. Coming full circle, his last SmackDown officially. He had his first SmackDown in Chicago, and he had his last SmackDown in Chicago. And I'm also happy I was able to see him wrestle, because I didn't know if he was going to wrestle, if he was just going to come out and do a promo. I got to see it all. He had a promo. He had a little segment. He had a match, and he got his ass beat. What else can he ask for other than a John Cena win? But, I can't be greedy. I did not expect that match, no matter what anybody could say and what anybody wanted to say. There was no way that match was going to end in any type of clean finish or any type of anything. It was going to end the exact way that it ended, and it was going to be that way no matter what anybody wanted, because there was no reason for Sammy to lose the title. And there was no reason for John Cena to win the U.S. title. And it only made sense for the Beast Incarnate, as Brock came out in the back and he said he's going to see his bitch ass at WrestlePalooza, which makes that match official. Tonight, I do think we see AJ Lee, CM Punk, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins match become official for the show. I don't know if AJ Lee is starting off the show. I would most likely feel like she will be. And for people that are going to the show, I know a few people that are going from the social medias. Have one heck of a time, because like I said, and I said it in the vlog you'll see tomorrow, the excitement, and there's just something about being at the shows, and rewatching the show on like TV and everything, it really wasn't like the greatest show. Obviously, it had one of the greatest moments of AJ Lee returning, Brock Lesnar, John Cena's last match. But I mean, between everything, I mean, it really wasn't like, oh my God, this is going to be like a SmackDown match worth watching that I'm going to go back and watch all the time. I definitely would go back and watch John Cena and Sami Zayn, but also the commercials kind of hurt it, and you guys also know how I feel about commercials. Nothing against the match. I thought the match was fantastic, and in person, the match was, because I didn't have to sit there and be like, guys, we'll be right back. It was funny, though, because the few times I knew that there was a commercial break, I was like, guys, we'll be right back, and I'm sitting there talking to myself. I'm like, who am I talking to? But altogether, one hell of a show. It was a fun 24 hours in Chicago, as like I said, I went to SmackDown. We did come back home on Saturday. We are now back in the WI of what's a WIS Wisconsin of Wisconsin. I don't even know Wisconsin. Home of the Cheeseheads. You know, we watched the Green Bay Packers play some good football yesterday. Micah Parsons had himself a day. But guys, we got a lot to do, a lot to talk about, and still a lot of time to go. Because, like I said, Raw starts in an hour and a half. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with AJ tonight if they make that match official. As remember, WrestlePalooza is next week. We will be having, and we'll have a preview show. We'll have our simulations. We'll do all the things that we always do on pay-per-view week next week. But I'm also interested to see what other matches to and that we are going to see. Also, before I forget, that you will also see in the vlog, we had a couple dark matches on the show. We had freaking the Wyatt Six take on the Motor City Machine Guns and the Street Profits. And surprisingly, the Wyatt Six lost. I was very shocked that they lost. And then we saw AJ Styles take on Kofi Kingston until Xavier Woods decided he was going to get involved, which meant Mr. Jacob Fatu came out, and we had ourselves an impromptu tornado tag team match where Jacob and AJ put the New Day through a table, demolished them, and got the win. And that is the one thing, too, I do like about being able to go to the shows is they have a dark match before and after the show. And it's really cool to see the other things that you may not see on television. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, if you guys have ever been to a show, or for the people that are watching, if you have been to a show, there is just something about it. Like I want to go again. It's like addictive. It's like I want to go. It was funny. I was looking at tickets to go to Milwaukee tonight. At like 1:00. I was like, should I just go? I'm like, but I was like, nah, I made the thumbnails. I got no money. I need to save money because literally I live like 2 hours away from the Buck Stadium. And like I said, I mean, the fact I don't know, but it's an addiction, and I understand why people go to all the shows because there's a different type of adrenaline that us wrestling fans have. But what is next for AJ Lee? Obviously, she signed a multi-year deal. She's going to be competing. I don't know about full-time. I feel like she's going to have definitely a not part-time schedule, but definitely a schedule not as much as, people may expect her to have. I think that AJ Lee is going to have herself, and she'll be on Raw. She'll probably be on all the shows. I don't know about all the shows. She doesn't look like she's promoted for SmackDown this week, but she most likely will be on Raw this week, Raw next week. She'll be at WrestlePalooza. And then maybe she'll be gone for a little bit of time, such as maybe they won't compete at Crown Jewel. But I do feel like, and I'm going to say a bold prediction for what's next for AJ Lee. I'm going to say that AJ Lee is either a team captain or she competes in War Games this year. Listen, I know it's only going to be a couple months, but do you guys see the shape that this girl is in? I think she'd go out there and kill it. And I also think another bold prediction for that is I think that we could see the first ever War Games match where we see like the Vision against CM Punk, AJ. So what I mean by that is I think that we are going to see the men and the women compete in the first ever War Games match together. If it is AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, and then we have CM Punk, he finds some people, and then we got, so I think it's going to be the Vision. I think it's going to be Seth, Braun, and Becky against Punk, AJ, and two other people of their choosing. We'll see who they can come up with. Maybe Randy Orton, maybe somebody, maybe John Cena. Maybe John Cena will be in. I would love to see John Cena in War Games. I don't know if that's possible, and I don't know if that would be cool, and I don't know if that would be possible for Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. But if he's going out, let's see you go out in one of the matches that you have not competed in this year. I'm just saying. But that is going to be my bold prediction for one match that AJ Lee could have this year. I think, though, that I have covered everything that did happen on this upcoming and this past SmackDown. As I did say, we will be live this upcoming Saturday, and this is why I don't want to say too much, because for the members episode, we will be doing a how I would book AJ Lee's return. And what I mean by that, if you guys have watched other YouTubers, such as Leo, such as Mr. Small Afro, such as BDE, all of those guys out there. They have done videos where they go and they predict who is going to be the person that they face. Like Small Afro is done, and he went out there and he rebooked how John Cena's retirement tour, farewell tour would go, and he twisted up a few things. And that is kind of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to book how I think AJ Lee will have and what this run will be like in the WWE from WrestlePalooza all the way up into SummerSlam of next year. We'll go all the way up to SummerSlam. And we're going to be here. We're going to be talking about who I think she's going to face, what title she'll succeed, what title she won't, who she'll face, who she won't face, and everything else that will be going down. But if you want to see this episode, you will have to become a member of the channel, and you will have to go and you will have to be a part of the members episodes and all that good stuff. But guys, I can't wait to do that episode. Should be a good one, and I'm excited for it. You got bullied for crying? Listen, I don't care who you are, what anything. If you want to cry for professional wrestling, then you cry for professional wrestling. These moments are special. I don't care what anybody says. Wouldn't that be cool? He has never been in War Games. Wouldn't it be interesting? I don't know. Would be interesting to see what goes down. But guys, that's all I got here for you right now. So I'm gonna go and get ready for SmackDown. I still am on SmackDown. I'm gonna go get ready for Raw. We got Monday Night Football, the Bears and the Vikings tonight. So you guys go get your dinners, go have yourselves a little break, go take an hour nap, and come back here at 7 o'clock and let's watch Monday Night Raw. But before we do go, let's go over what we got going down this week, because we do have this episode on Saturday. We have, where is it? This episode tonight, it's Monday Night Raw. Come and hang out in the home of the Milwaukee Bucks in the state, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's going down. It's Monday Night Raw. This is not the thumbnail. I don't know where the other thumbnail is at, but the SmackDown vlog will be live on the channel at 5 o'clock. You guys will see my full experience and my full reactions to everything that happened at SmackDown this past Friday at the Allstate Arena. On Wednesday, we're going to be here. It's some WWE 2K25 My GM mode. It's SmackDown. It's NXT. It's the King of the Ring. On Thursday, you guys know what time it is. It's a Southside Boys episode. Come and hang out. As your boy Tino, Deech, and Justin. We only got a couple more weeks of the MLB season. White Sox are hot. It's a week of winning. Come and hang out as we talk some White Sox baseball. I was going to be live for Friday Night SmackDown, but I did have and I got my weekends mixed up as we got the family coming in from Chicago on Friday, which means I will not be here for Friday Night SmackDown. But what we will do is we will come back and we will talk, or I will do a quick recap video, or I will come in if we get back before and after Raw or after SmackDown is off air. We'll come back and we'll do something like that. So we'll still have something for you for SmackDown, but we will not be live for the show, as I will be spending time with some family that is coming to visit here in the WI. And then, as I said, or the WI, I said WI, the WI. And then, as I said on Saturday, members only. Get your memberships now, so you can check this episode out as we book the return of AJ Lee. Excuses. What the F what? Boo what? What's up, J-Dog? We got J-Dog in the house. J-Dog, we were talking about you. Guys, it's like he's saying his name and he appears. J-Dog in the building. But, guys, that's all I got here for you. So, make sure that you hit that like button. You subscribe on the road to 4K. You turn that notification button on. You also go check out the Main Event Network, the Southside Boys, the OTM guys, all that good stuff over here on the channel. Guys, I appreciate y'all as always coming and hanging out here with me. I'm sorry I was not here on Friday. I know we missed each other. I know you guys missed me. But we're back at it for another full week of live streams and everything else. Football is in high gear, and we're ready for another great week. So, guys, enjoy your hour and a half, 24 minutes to be exact. And I'll see you at 7 o'clock for Monday Night Raw in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's okay, J-Dog. Just go back and watch the beginning of the episode. I gave you a shout out. Guys, have a great one.